See this tank? Can you guess what's missing from it?
My snake has escaped. You have to excuse me for not looking my usual dapper self today, but I've got some cleaning chores and I'm way behind on some promises I've got to fulfill to my wife about cleaning the bathroom. So that's what I'm going to be doing all morning. But I also had some thoughts that I wanted to share with you, so you guys are going to come along for the ride.
So here's the problem with having a pet snake. First of all, no one understands why you would want such a pet. Unless, of course, they happen to own snakes themselves. Or they happen to be a science teacher themselves and they see the benefit in having something like that, or they see the learning experience. But the number one thing out of most people's mouths is, that would never come in my house, or it better not get out. A lot of people are confused as to why somebody would own a snake, because, well, you can't cuddle with a snake. You can't call a snake to come to you and it come up and enjoy your presence. And that's true. Reptiles generally are not like that. I have seen examples of adult snakes ranging anywhere from your average ball python, who's only 4 or 5 feet long, to your large Burmese pythons, who can be anywhere from 15 to 20 feet long, who, through constant handling, become very docile pets. And actually, I have seen some that enjoy being handled. They enjoy being ambassadors for their species and going into schools, and they don't mind when people are handling them. When I discovered that Ahsoka had gotten out of her tank and I couldn't find her, and Tammy posted on Facebook that she couldn't believe this had happened, I was amazed at how many comments came back about get out of the house now. I've even had people, and they thought they were being funny, began to describe about how the only good snake is a dead snake, or snakes are wonderful, cut up into little pieces. I don't think people realize that, this is a pet. And although I only had her for a couple of months before she disappeared, I feel bad about that, because that was a living creature that I was in charge of, and she's not going to survive outside of that tank. She's too young. If she somehow found a way to get out through some miniature hole in the house where we've had, cable wires coming through, or up through the plumbing, if she gets out in the wild, she will not live, because she doesn't know how to hunt. She's been hand-fed frozen, thawed mice her entire life. Not to mention the fact her bright colors are going to make her an easy target for anything that would enjoy eating her. I feel like a very irresponsible pet owner. I'm hoping that she is still somewhere in the house, and I'm hoping that over the next couple of weeks she will make herself visible so that we can get her, put her back in the tank, and begin to care for her properly again. This time always making sure that the lid on the tank is secure. This morning at about 3:30, I was awakened by the furnace coming on, and this is the first time our furnace has been on in probably over a month, because it's just been so warm here in North Carolina. I couldn't help but think, oh no, if she's actually in the ductwork, will she survive this? And that's tough. And if you're not a snake owner, none of this probably makes sense to you.
We'll get this bad boy right here ready to get a good scrubbing. Let this stuff work its magic so I can come out and scrub it away. There were a few teachers in neighboring classrooms to me that were always afraid that the snake was going to get out. And they said, that thing better not get out and get in my room. And I constantly assured them, there's no way the snake can get out. She's too small to be able to get out of this tank. Well, I guess that's not entirely true. So, when I go back and they ask, where's your snake? And I have to say,
Well, I kind of didn't secure the lid, and she got out. And then they're going to pitch a fit. Why did that happen here at school? And why did that thing ended up in my classroom? And then the principal's going to say, maybe it's a good thing you don't get another snake. So I don't know what to do about that. One of the things that I was so excited about when I got Ahsoka was the fact that she could have lived up to 20 years in captivity. And I just thought, oh man, that would be so awesome to be able to have her for so long and to watch her grow. And in the couple of months that I had her, she had done so many things to help kids overcome their fears. And you might think I'm blowing this out of proportion, but I'm not. There are some kids that are going to cry next week when I return to school and don't have that snake. Because there are some kids for whom this snake gave them purpose. It's care and taking care of it. And not to mention the fact that a lot of kids who were afraid of snakes gradually warmed up to the idea of letting me bring it close to them so they could watch it, from a small distance. A few who would have never touched a snake touched it. Some who would have never held a snake finally held it, and it was just everything that I wanted it to be. And then I had to be a goober and not get the lid on tightly. And in a couple of months, she hasn't appeared, she hasn't crawled out from wherever she's hiding right now, and I'm fairly confident that she's not coming back. I will probably get another snake, but where do I get one? I certainly am not going to feel good about going back to the breeder where I got Ahsoka, because she'll say, oh hey, how's Ahsoka doing? And I'll say, I was an irresponsible snake owner and I let her get out and she probably died in my ductwork of my furnace. And that breeder's going to say, no, you're not buying another one of my snakes. So, this is hard. Believe it or not, there's actually a bigger lesson to all of this. Besides, make sure the lid to your snake tank is on securely. Oh my gosh, how many bottles are in here? By the way, my wife is going to die when she finds out I've filmed our bathroom. I did fold the towels neatly and I hid all the unmentionables. The lesson to be learned in this is, how do you handle negative circumstances that come up in your life? Yeah, this off-brand stuff definitely it's not going to do as good a job. I'm going to have to do the scrubbing instead of the scrubbing bubbles doing the scrubbing.
One of the things that my escaped snake has caused me to think about is my perspective on things. When something happens, I tend to accept it as, okay, this is what it is, and I tend to run through the next steps of or consequences of that action through my head very quickly. For me, the logical, rational person that I am, as I ran through my Mr. Spock Vulcan sums of the outcomes, she's gone forever. So I'm thinking, it's been 24 hours, she's gone. This has reminded me that I tend to view most things in life in this very same manner.
So, I don't know if that's a character flaw or not, that I am too quick to accept circumstances and then just work through them. I see it as a positive thing, because nothing I can do from the future forward can change the past. What I can do moving forward is change the potential of tomorrow. And not, or try not, to repeat that same mistake. Okay, maybe this stuff is better than I feared. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being there with me as I process losing my snake. Thank you for listening and for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe down below. And remember, give somebody a reason to hope and learn something new every day.